Okay, so maybe you didn't know or something like that. So we ran a pilot, and we have three awardees, one receiving 2 million, another one 3 million, and another one 5 million. And the president will award this because of this month of June. And out of that experiment, we realized that if we continue to build capacity among yourselves to think and support and be active in innovation, we can attract more of you to participate in this program and get the support to develop your ideas further. And the support comes in two different forms. One is financial, but the second is capacity development. So that then you're able to think more as an innovator, think about being a founder, think about how do you fundraise, how do you pitch your ideas effectively, and so on and so forth. So that we are able to commit that we'll continue to support and provide that kind of intervention. The second thing that is of interest is we started what we call a startup school. And the startup school is, we are persuaded that sometimes when you attend your entrepreneurship class, you're going to get a grade, but it might not make you a founder. Because the faculty is why it has got like 100 students or 50 students, and you're going through certain modules, topics, and so on and so forth. You do a CAT, and then you do exam. And we started realizing that it's not fair, because some students in the class want to be founders. They want to build startups, but they're not getting what they would need through that training program. Not to say that it is useless. It is useful, but it might not give you the depth that you need to be a founder. So we started what we call a startup school. And the startup school has two parts. The first part is to look for faculty who teach entrepreneurship and help them to think about what you would need as a founder, not as a graduate. You graduate, that's fine, but what would you need as a founder? And we took faculty from about, 20 universities or so, and we've run a training program for 3 months, and many of them have come back and said that was very helpful, because it will make a very big difference in the way I support my students to become founders. Within that startup school, we decided we will also have a founders track. So we have an educator track, and we have something on a founder track. And you belong into what we call the founder track. So we said we can intervene directly and actually create training programs, mentorship programs that help you to visualize what it means to be a founder. Now, you have had a session or two since morning, and I don't know how many of you would raise up your hand and say, that was really useful. How many would? Okay, thanks very much. Now, typically you wouldn't find that in university. Now, so I don't want you to say the university is not being useful to me. We need that system, but we need to complement it, because times have changed and things have evolved. So we have to complement. And that's why we asked your faculty to come as well and see what you'll go through, so that you don't go back and protest and say, sasa haki yetu. Because we have to work together, both with the faculty and the student. So here's how we want to sustain this idea, how we're going to sustain it. As an innovation agency, we're going to try and set up innovation clubs in your universities. Innovation clubs will be student-led, whereby you have a team like a president, a vice president, and secretary, and programs person, and so on and so forth. I know some of you already have some form of structure of an innovation club. And then, as an innovation agency, we will engage with the leadership of the university to provide support to that club. We will also provide support to that club, and we will have mentors and coaches. And mentors are some of the faculty that you already have. And then we'll tell you a set of activities that you should be doing, like startup weekends, like innovation challenges and training programs like these. Now you can call me to your university and say, we've got a day for design thinking. And then I look for a guy called Enos, whom I hear has become very popular. So we say Enos for governor. Then we call him to Riara, we call him to Daystar, USIU, and so on and so forth. And he runs a full day session on the topic that he's very good at. You're going to listen to Yvonne, you're going to listen to others, and so on and so forth. So this 2 day is a glimpse of part of what we're thinking, and we want it to happen in all your institutions. And if we have the capacity over the next 2 or so years, we have as many as 50 universities running innovation clubs and these programs at the university level. Who would like to be a president of such a club? Okay. My mission is accomplished. Can I drop my mic?
Wow, mic drop. All right, please give Dr. Tony a hand. Thank you for those remarks. All right, so we can start. I don't know where my presentation has gone to. If you'd pull it up. So I think it's very exciting. Definitely when I went to university, we didn't have a innovation club, faculty-led or student-led or otherwise. So this is exciting times. And I think I would highly recommend you take up any opportunity you have. I'm a strong believer that we as Africans are the ones who can solve our own problems. We have enough money, we have enough brain power, we have enough heart power. Anything we set our minds to, we can achieve. So let me introduce myself. My name is Yvonne Jerry. I might have introduced myself in the morning. And what I do, or what I love to do, is creating solutions. And as I've said, I believe that as Africans, we have the immense opportunity, especially now, to actually make a difference for ourselves, for our community. My experience is around financial services, advertising, marketing, growing things, scaling, going to market. And I have built my career in global companies, the very last one being MasterCard, where I was there for close to 9 years at the Innovation Lab. And I was previously at IBM, which is where I actually started working with startups. And I started working with startups and coaching them and entrepreneurs because I realized whilst a lot of startups were very passionate about their products and they had very good technology behind it, they sometimes struggled with the business piece. How do we acquire customers? How do I grow my business? What is my go-to-market strategy? How do I scale? And that is my background. So I started talking with startups and just helping them think through those aspects. And I've been doing it now about 10 years, which I understand might be half your age, which is exciting, I must say. And so I've been part of a lot of accelerator programs, including the GIZ one, Seed Stars in Tanzania. I did Makerere University. I think Riara, we're talking to someone from Riara just a few hours ago, Riara University Innovation Challenge, Design Thinking Challenge, Growth Africa, and then most recently Spark Accelerator, which I think had really, really good startups. So I do love working with new ideas and people who are thinking creatively and innovatively. And one of my passions is actually around the innovation process. So you saw this from Enos today, isn't it? Okay. So when I was at the Innovation Lab, I was part of a team that actually went through this exact process over and over again for all the products we built. We had some good ones. We had an agri-tech one. We had an edu-tech one. We had micro retail. We had a healthcare one that failed at the design thinking, the design sprint level. And then we have a remnant, actually, I realized just about a month ago. We had built work, we co-created a platform for construction workers with the National Construction Agency, Authority, NCA, it's an authority. It's called Gen Z, and I was so happy to hear that it's still alive, even though we pulled out of it. So yeah, failure also has helped me learn a lot about the innovation process. One of my favorite tools to use is design thinking, and that's just because we build, anytime you're building a product, if you build it customer first, your success rate just goes up. As simple as that. So the innovation process looks like this. Enos took you through this. I am just going to go one level down on the first part. All right. And hopefully, if we have another chance, another time to gather together, we can talk about go to market strategies, we can talk about commercialization, we can talk about scale. Okay. So, design thinking plays such a critical role at every stage of the innovation process. So, not just at the beginning, but I'd say heavily at the beginning. When you're starting to think, I have seen a problem in my shags, okay? The water is really dirty. The river that passes there, when our mothers and girls and young boys, do young boys go to fetch water? Do young boys go to fetch water? Yes? When the young boys go to fetch water, they find that it's not clean. How can I help? So you can go through this process. And what we're going to do for the next hour or so is I'm just going to give you a taste of the design thinking process. I know some of you have been exposed to it. I know some of you teach it. So this is just to level set. We're all going to do this practically, but it's just to give you a taste and a hint of what the process is, with the intention and hope that when you go back, you will always apply it to your innovations and to your ventures. So it plays a heavy role at the beginning, but it continues to show up at every place. When you're trying to sell or to pre-sell, like I know also talk about pre-selling. When you're trying to pre-sell, what do? You go to a potential customer. Yes, you sit them down, you show them your prototype. Maybe you've done a sketch. This is my app. Itakuwa hivi, ukifinya hapa inaenda hapa. And then now you sign up here, and then this is how you buy, this is how you pay, this is how I see the money on my side, blah, blah, blah. The customer says, ay, apana, this is too long for me. I don't have time. I'm just trying to buy dengu on the app. It's too much work. Then you say, okay, let me come back. Let me think about it. Let me iterate. Let me change. So then it uses at that place. Maybe also you're trying to grow. You have your proof of concept. You have 100 customers, now you need to move to 10,000. You go through the same process. And even at market scale, we still use design thinking. So it's actually just by simple way of definition, just to level set. As I said, I know some of you have already done this. It's human-centered problem-solving approach. What it does, it emphasizes on understanding the in-depth needs of users or customers. And sometimes the user is the same as the customer, sometimes they're not. So it came from the field of design, but we all adopted it. And like for me personally, I've been able to do ideation sessions for youth groups. I did it for teenagers. I've done it with a church group as well, organizations. So it's very versatile because it's a process-driven, human, customer thinking process. And then what it is it's a set of principles and a structured framework to guide the problem-solving process. What this means is it's creative thinking. But rather than saying, ebu kujeni hapa we brainstorm, we try and put some structure so that we ensure we get the best ideas at the top. So we'll do this practically so that it doesn't sound like a random concept. It has these 5 pieces. These are sets of principles or the framework. You start with empathize, and if you're doing this for your own venture, you spend a lot of time here, is what I would advise. So empathize is basically putting yourself in the shoes of the person you're trying to solve the problem for. If I'm trying to solve clean water for young boys in my ushago, I try and think, how do young boys think? I'm obviously not a young boy, so I have to talk to young boys and see what are their main problems. What time do they go to school? When do they fetch this water? What do they use to carry this water? Blah, 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 all those things. Then I say, okay, I need to define the problem. And problem definition is also a key part because you don't want to spend all your money and resources solving the wrong problem. Because what that will mean is that you'll waste a lot of time and effort. So you need to define the problem accurately so that then when you go to the ideate part, then now you start solutioning. A lot of the mistakes we make, and I'm sure Enos mentioned this, is we rush, as human beings, we rush to solutioning before we've even understood properly what the problem is. So I urge you to spend a lot of time here. Then we create our prototype or a blueprint, depending on how you want to call it, which is a bare minimum like sketch, or if you want to build, like if I'm going to create a mkebe type, for example, or a metal type thing that's going to now purify the water in the river in my shags, then I can build a basic thing just to see if it's working. And even as I'm building, I check with the people I'm building for, is this working? Yes or no. And then I test it. So the reason we have all these arrows going everywhere is to show that it's an iterative process, meaning we keep learning and improving as we go along. So because I know you're all smart people, Metoka University, I won't go into depth of all these steps, but I believe we'll have the slides available. So at some different time, you'll be able to go through it, okay? But I want us to do it live. So live looks like this. So some ground rules. We're going to work within the tables we're sitting in. I hope you have some sticky notes. If you don't have, you might just have to use the notebooks you have. Is there any table that doesn't have sticky notes? Just a few, you just need a few. I want to urge you to be ready to work fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the flow for the design thinking methodology and apply a problem. It can be the current one that you have, the one you're trying to solve for. The only catch with using the one you already know is I'm sure you've started solutioning. Na kama umeanza kujenga the solution, it's difficult for you sometimes to step back. It's just a human nature thing. It's difficult to step back and then say, what is the problem? So I just want to urge you, think about something that has been in your mind, maybe something you saw in the news or you saw on YouTube or this TikTok video that came up and inakusumbua, it's disturbing you a little bit. And you're like, if I had all the money in the world, I would solve this problem. Think about that. That's what we're going to use, okay? So we're going to go through this flow of empathize, define, ideate, create the prototypes or blueprint, and then we're going to test and iterate. Of course, if you're doing this for your company or the startup you're trying to build, you can do this over days, over weeks. But for purposes of learning, we're just going to do it in the next 30 minutes, all right? Definition ground rules, I think not. Be ready to work fast. We're going to have fun, color outside the box. This is a safe space. We're going to share a lot with each other and learn from each other. So when you're sharing, I request listen to what your partner or colleague is sharing and then give feedback based on your own insights and experience. I'm pretty sure you might not be an expert in what they're trying to do, but just as a human. Remember, this is human-centered design. And the beauty about all humans is we have a commonality. There's a commonality in our approach. We might differ in some things, but sometimes we have a commonality. So just share based on what you know. And then trust the process. Mko tayari? Are we ready? All right, so when I'm doing this, I will ask the DJ to play some music in the background for the time we're doing this, but it's just to help us think really quickly. When I say start, you start. When I say stop, you stop. All right? So we're going to start now. I want you to grab one sticky note. Grab a sticky note. All right, so, okay, hold on to the music just one sec. I finished giving the instructions. So this is step 0. So I want you to think about that one thing that think for yourself. You don't have to discuss with each other. Just write your goal. Write your own goal. Yours. Wherever you live, yours. All right, you're winding up. Your time is up. So Lewis is gonna go round. He has some lollipops. So I just want to hear from the room. What are you working on? How to dash? If you want to volunteer and get a lollipop, hey Billy. Okay, hey. Lollipops are in demand. Okay, Lewis, just speak. Just speak. Someone.
Oh,
How to?
I want to perfect my crocheting skills, improve writing skills, and read on performed arts.
And do what?
Read on performed arts.
Read on performing arts. Okay. Do you have a problem in mind that you're looking to solve? Is there a reason? Is there something you've seen? Are people cold? Like, what is the? What's the back story? Yeah.
The backstory.
Yeah.
When it comes to performed arts, I'm very talented.
Yes.
And it's an area I've never tried to explore.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's great. And we're glad you're talented. I want you to think about the problem you're trying to solve. What problem are you trying to solve? Aya, kuna mikono huku Lewis. You're in demand. You're in demand. Yes.
How to manage and prevent postpartum depression in mothers after delivery.
Well done. Please give her a hand. Another one.
I want to be able to help farmers, especially at home, to reduce the effects of pests and diseases, especially in our orange farm at home, and also not to be screwed over by conmen who don't pay the right prices and the margins go down, or we suffer losses when we sell those fruits.
Okay. Also a very good one. Please give him a hand. Hey. This is why I like lollipops.
This is my popular opinion.
Yes.
How to make sure one term gets one term.
Yani, I didn't even have to ask for you to clap for him. All right, another one. Lewis, someone?
Okay.
Yes?
Hello.
Yes? Hello.
Hi. So my problem is how to ensure that mothers who have stillbirth in public hospitals are able to preserve their newborns in a better manner.
Oh, wow.
I'm a nursing
Thank you.
student.
That's amazing. Please give her a hand. How to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How to solve mental health at an affordable price.
How to solve mental health at an affordable price. That's also a really great one. Please give him a hand. Lewis, lollipops Zimeisha. All right. Okay, we'll give two more. Come and get two more. Take one from here and one from here. Oh, you've been... Okay, go behind. Oh my goodness. All right. Go for it.
How to create sustainable jobs for rural women.
How to create sustainable what?
Income generating jobs.
Income generating jobs. That's a really good one. Please give her a hand. And you can come for your lollipop up here because he finished. Yes, back there.
Hi, I'm Sonia Njogu from Technical University of Kenya.
Yes.
And mine is how to deal with passport bros.
Passport what?
Bros.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's a trend in TikTok in which American men and people from the Western world, mostly men, come to us,
yes,
like developing countries, and try to marry women because we are not well educated enough.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Give her a hand. We have two at the front. You guys, just two at the front, and then we continue. Please. Tafadhali. Okay, so this guy's a really You'll do the next round. Go for it.
How to make probiotic juices from fermented ginger.
Oh, I love it. Please give a hand. But the why? Why it's the why? I kind of know it, but just say it.
It's more personal. It's a personal why. I have a mother who's deathly allergic to proteins. So the probiotic benefits from drinks like yogurt, she can't have them. So
okay.
How can she get the same?
So for people who are not able to have protein-based,
probiotic
that's
drinks.
Okay. So that's what you're gonna think when you're defining the problem.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Please give a hand. Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll go here. Then we can continue.
Can I have my sweet first? Then I can.
No. Kwanza, we have the.
All right.
Yes.
How to help women give birth more easily and more comfortably. Yeah.
Go for it. Sorry.
How to help women give birth more easily and comfortably.
All right.
Yeah.
I think there's I can hear the why behind that. All right. Thank you. Please clap for them. Last one here.
How to solve the issue of accessibility when it comes to menstrual health for girls and women with disabilities.
Oh, wow. All right. That sounds like a really good one. All right. Clap for yourselves. You've done a good job. And we are just at step 0. Huh? All right. So I want us now to empathize. All right. So here, I want you to take 2 minutes. I want you to think about who you're solving the problem for. So go back, think about, I want to tell real African stories because I feel, the elderly do not have access to real stories because they're not on digital media. I don't know, I'm just making that up, obviously. So whatever goal you want or whatever you're working on, please take 2 minutes, think about who you're solving the problem for, who are the personas or the stakeholders, how does it feel to be in their shoes, what are their pain points? And whilst you're doing this, I want you to categorize them and say, are they customers, are they users, or are they both? Okay? So just take 2 minutes. Let's empathize, starting now. About a minute left.
Bien Martin, 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 Chapidi, Oda Union Polo, Oda.
Oda yuni nyopolo, wabiro kuom ngolo, wakelo nuwe ngolo, wachodo nyaka ngolo, wating'o Yesu malo. Kikalo rague kanyo mosa tudo jakamolo, mano signo maratari daka kale sama kalo. Ono mane polo, ingi mondo miduong, Yesu ndono polo, omiya weyo kolo.
30 seconds left.
Gimane timano nyaka par, erokamano nyadi pare, gole dier kanindo e par, baba pok ni weya tar. Itelo na imenyo na ing'ono na ikedo na, baba na jamana osip ma ngimana.
All right, so what we're doing with this again is what you've learned from on the innovation process with Enos, we're now just trying to bring it to life, okay? So some of the questions you need to answer. Remember, when you're building, you must be customer focused. You must always, don't build with yourself. Even if you feel one customers, like if you identify something, like I'm always struggling to book SGR tickets, for example, can I build an app? It's okay, but make sure you always validate, put yourself in that person's shoes. Some of the questions I want to ask you to write down on your sticky notes, I want you to write down the answers, is number one, what does your customer or user see, hear, think, feel in their everyday life that's related to the problem you're solving? What does your customer or user see, hear, think, and feel in their everyday life related to the problem you're solving? So if it's, for example, the young boys and girls in Ushago, they're tired, they've come from school, they have homework, but first they have to go long distances to fetch water. So they feel frustrated, they feel tired, scared because they're walking through dangerous terrain, etc. Write down what goals your user or customer is trying to achieve. So you're putting yourself thoroughly in their shoes. What are they trying to achieve? What is stopping them? What's getting in their way right now? It can be lack of opportunity, lack of assets, lack of access to technology, whatever it is. What is their goal and what is currently getting in their way? So make sure you write this. Third question, where, when, and how does your user or customer currently interact with similar solutions? So what we're trying to do here is think about if there is any potential competition or something else, the problem you're trying to solve. You're trying to also see what does it do?
wemadlamini ukumqombothi lapho
wemadlamini ukumqombothi
All right. Lewis, lollipops is about to come. Anyone want to share who they're solving the problem for? There's that gentleman over there. There's a lady there. We'll take 3. Lewis, you've forgotten your lollipops.
Mine is more into robotics, and I feel like.
Who are you solving for? Yes.
The transport system, the transport industry.
Yes.
And I feel like
yes,
we have maximized to the extreme end our roads, but we can we still have enough spaces in the atmosphere. So mine is to develop flying vehicles. Yeah.
Okay, I get that, and I think it's going to be a really smart thing to do, but I want to hear the who. So I want you to, and you don't have to answer now, but frame it in terms of who. Is it for people, for students who are trying to get to school on time, for working class people? Who's going to use that flying vehicle? Who are you thinking?
Okay, every morning when I'm going to school,
yes,
you see these people, these long queues in next to archives.
Yes.
And so the people who are going to benefit is just majorly the working class.
Yes, so working class.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the public in general.
All right. Please give him a hand of applause. I want you to define that working class a little bit better. I want you to start thinking about where are they working, what age set are they in, what is their everyday life, what's their current obstacle. Those 3 questions I had asked. You don't have to do it now, you can do it later. Yeah, but thank you.
So our project goal was how to earn as you learn.
Earn as you learn. Who are you solving for?
So I'm solving for the teaching staff, the students, and the non-teaching staff.
Okay.
And then our customers are the real world.
The real world?
Yes. So we are going to incorporate the digital platforms.
Okay.
And build an audience that's
Okay.
going to serve the lecturers, the students, and the non-teaching staff.
Okay, that's the who. Lecturers, students, and non-teaching staff. All right, please give him a hand of applause. One last one. He's gone there. Welcome. Yes.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to solve the issue of
fake goods.
Fake news.
Fake news.
So I'm developing a software that detects fake news and certificates and all that.
Who are you solving for?
Kenyans.
Why do you think maybe we like fake news? I don't know. What is the you have to go to the why behind the who, so that you say what is the problem. Like what's the pain point?
Okay, in terms of so many companies employ people who have fake certificates. You heard of Sakaja faking his certificates while we had the past election, right?
So it's about accreditation,
Kinda, yeah.
All right. Please give him a hand of applause. Lewis, due to public demand, we listen to one here, then we continue. Don't worry, everyone will hopefully, at least each table should get a chance. One last one. Who are you solving for?
So my thing is for eczema patients. So for what we have right now, there's not enough research on things like tropical withdrawal. So doctors normally prescribe steroids for patients without telling them the effects or the long-term effects of steroids. And most people end up going through withdrawal once they stop. And for me, I'm also an eczema patient. Yeah, so what worked for me was information from other people, not from doctors, using traditional medicine rather, or natural products. So that would be something I'd like to
Okay, so this is for people who struggle to get good information on steroids. Steroids for skin conditions.
No,
Uh-huh.
like getting information.
It's for who?
Oh yes, the
For
eczema
who?
patients.
Eczema patients.
Yes.
All right. Okay, please give a hand of applause. Thank you very much. So I want us to do this second step now. I want you to define your problem statement, all right? And just for the purposes of this exercise, I want you to write one problem statement. So you define your problem statement by choosing the problem you want to focus on. So, and the person you're solving the problem for. And I want you to pick a sticky note. If you have a long one, that would be great. If not, you can actually use your notebook as well. But I want you to write it down in this format. This format is just part of the structure for design thinking that helps us define problem statements well. So for, which is why I kept asking, who are you solving for? Who are you solving for? Who are you solving for? The who is the persona. So for so and so, who want to do something, I will do this so that they can achieve a certain goal. All right? For school-going boys in rural Kenya who want to save time fetching water, for example, I will create a jerry can that's a self-purifying jerry can so that once they fetch water, they can quickly take it home and save the time they need and focus on their schoolwork. Please don't write a long-winded one like mine. Write a nicer one. Write a much nicer one. I'm giving you 2 minutes.
In my search for freedom, and these are mine. I left the memories behind. Wanna start a new life, but it seems to be rather absurd. When I know the truth is that I always think of you. Someday, somewhere, together we will be, baby. I'll take and you take your time. We wait for our fate, 'cause nobody owns us, baby. We can shake the rock. Try to throw the picture out of my mind. I try to leave the memories behind. Ooh. Here by the ocean, waves carry voices from you. Do you know the truth? I'm thinking of you. Someday, somewhere, together we will be, baby. I take and you take your time. We wait for our fate,
All right, so I hope you've written for persona who wants to do this. I now want us to do the how my twist statements. So this is now the ideation piece. So by yourself, I want you to write down as many different ideas as possible on how you think you can solve the problem you identified. You already know what the problem is, you know who you're solving for, and you've written the problem statement. So now we're going to do an ideation session, 5 minutes. The person with the most ideas will get 2 lollipops. Huh? That's a very expensive gift. So 2 lollipops, if you have the most ideas, I'm giving you 5 minutes, and how you do it is to say how my twins, or how my tie solve. I could relate an app, I can't, whatever it is. Talk to my church community, gather the kingdom, all those things. All right? All right, 5 minutes starts now.
I'll love you forever. You come home and we'll start our family. Hey, man. Thanks.
She put him out like the burning end of a midnight.
So as many ideas as you can. If you have 30 ideas, awesome. Try for a minimum of 10 ideas on how to solve. And don't write the same idea 5 times. Just, have different ideas, as many as you can. You have 3 minutes left.
Our love divine, we intertwine, our souls align. And baby, I gotta tell you, you're always on my mind. Our love divine, we intertwine, our souls align. You're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. And I just can't do without you. You're always on my mind. And we'll be till the end of time. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. I'm so ready to try. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. I'm so ready to try.
All right, you have about a minute left.
Until the end of time.
Have as many ideas as possible.
Until the end of time. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. I'm so ready to try. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. I'm so ready to try. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. Until the end of time. I'm so ready to try.
has 30 ideas on how to solve their problem? But of course, if you say you have 30, you have to reach 30. All right, 20 ideas. 20 ideas on how to solve the problem. Nothing. Okay, 15. Okay, I keep my lollipop. 14. 13. Ideas. 12. 12. Clap for you. You're sure you have 12? Okay, your politician can verify. All right. Please read them out for us.
I know it's getting
Do
late.
this.
I'm struggling to let go. Although there's distance between us, there's no place I'd rather be.
All right.
Owe you some hospitality, and it comes to.
All right, the problem statement. Let me look for it. Okay, I'll just take the problem statement. So the problem statement is insufficient data insight for entrepreneurs and innovators, for especially African-centered data. So also, it also links with a lot of investor money being sent into Africa to support a lot of ISOs, but we don't have enough information despite having a lot of contact points through innovators across Africa. So
We don't have enough information on entrepreneurship or on what exactly?
on the problems. So
The
because
problems facing entrepreneurs.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So yeah,
Who are you? Sorry, let me just ask you. Who are you solving for?
the
Investors.
the funders
Okay.
who are funding the ISOs, and the entrepreneurs who need more African data to innovate better.
Okay.
So that instead of repeating the same processes, we can just solve problems based on the information that was
Given
updated in the
previously.
past. Yeah.
Okay. So for investors who are looking for high quality data insights on the entrepreneurship landscape in Africa, I will provide a platform. What are you?
Yeah,
A
probably a
platform
platform,
that's a
that
data analytics platform.
Yeah, that unifies insights from different entrepreneurs across the planet.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. Okay, read the ideas. You said 13, eh? 12, okay.
All right. So the how might we? First of all, I might talk to the ISO heads and ask them if that's a problem. Number one. Number two, I might start a YouTube channel and invite the different ISO heads, investors to share what the problems are. Number three, I might create a Reddit platform for problem discussion just for African entrepreneurs. Number four, I could have entrepreneurs who failed or succeeded do a mandatory report that will be shared to a platform. Number five, I could train all entrepreneurs and innovators as data collectors and report writers. Number six, I could offer to collect data from all entrepreneurs across the ISO programs. Number seven, I could link the ISOs together to share data. Number eight, I could have white paper publications and reviews. Number nine, I could have a conference for real industries, big companies to discuss their problems and develop a problem bank. Number 10, I might build a website that collects entrepreneurship insights. 11, I could have entrepreneurs give talks to other developing entrepreneurs, whether they failed or succeeded. And number 12, I could talk to, okay, I just wrote talk to customers, but yeah.
Please give him a round of applause. Well done. You deserve your 2 lollipops. All right, so I want you to turn to your partner and share the ideas you have with them. And as you're sharing the ideas, what have I done with my... As you're sharing the ideas, I want you to, if you can be in pairs, okay? Groups of 2. Share first what your problem statement is, then share the idea, and then let your colleague listen and pick out the idea that resonates most for them, just based on who they are. Doesn't matter. Am I making sense? So share with, you're going to be 2 by 2. So pick your partner. I guess if you're 3, you can talk to the 3 of you. Share what your problem statement is. Share all the 10 ideas or how many you have, and choose for each other the idea that resonates the most, the one that you like the most. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do that.
Promise I just need some more time. If you can bear with me. When last did we feel this close together? Chasing sunsets in California. Don't make me wait, baby. It's been forever. Don't take forever. It's been forever. Don't take forever. It's been forever. Trust me, I'm starting to realize and look beyond my fears. Sun keeps on turning to twilight. Baby, we don't have long. I can't keep my hands off you. All night, all my love. You say it's getting too late. Baby, don't be afraid. When last did we feel this close together? Chasing sunsets in California. Don't make me wait, babe. It's been forever. Don't take forever. It's been forever. Don't take forever. It's been forever.
Should be winding up sharing. Does everyone have an idea that has been voted for them? Who doesn't have? Have your colleagues picked out their favorite idea from your set? You don't have one yet? Or you have a question? Oh, okay. I'll give you 1 minute. And there's an announcement. If you haven't registered at the back, at the registration desk, please make sure you do so before the end of the session. All right. I hope everyone now have an idea that has been picked as the better one. So the point of this part of the process is just to sift. So all the other ideas that you have are not bad, okay? All ideas are good and created equal during the ideation process. You just have your colleagues pick the one that stands out so that you can work on that particular one. Anyone who's surprised at the ones that have been picked? Any surprises when you're talking with your colleagues and you've had the ideas picked? Any? Yes? Where's Lewis? Oh, just go there. Mike? What idea was picked for you that was surprising?
So my problem was to, oh,
Please
how
listen.
to,
Yeah. Your problem was?
so it was how to stop period cramps.
Yes.
So the problem was women face a lot of pain during periods.
Yes.
And the various solutions I came up with, the one that was basically most visible was to compile different traditional methods that women in different communities and countries have been using for centuries, and probably try to like refine them and come up with one standard way that can make it that can be more effective,
I
like,
love it.
than the others. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. Please give a hand of applause and a lollipop. Anyone else side? Any idea that your colleagues liked? Okay, Lewis, over here, there's someone. Oh, you have, oh, I was going to this side. Okay, let's listen, then we'll come here. Okay?
Oh, hi.
Hi.
The problem was how to effectively solve the problem of animal control in our nation. So specifically Nairobi, because we don't have a system set up anywhere for it.
Mhm.
And we came up with the stakeholders were from government bodies,
Mm.
from the regulatory officials,
Mhm.
from the veterinary experts. Yeah, and we saw that how we can solve how it affects the stakeholders. So for example, the public is a stakeholder, and if you can count, I'm sure these days there's a lot, you know, with increased urbanization, there's also increase in animal human interaction in cities. So you can count probably the amount of ones you've seen run over, amount of ones you've seen homeless. Yeah, and it's growing. It's an issue that's going to become a problem in future.
Okay.
Because we don't have good infrastructure for these things, from drainage. So you find a lot of rats because of such problems,
Okay.
a lot of stray dogs, a lot of stray cats.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was our problem.
Okay. What was the idea that on how to solve it that came up?
To solve it, we had several.
Yeah, which is the best idea? Did you guys discuss which was the best idea?
So public awareness is the biggest one,
Okay.
and education.
Okay.
Because if we don't even pose it as an issue from the start,
Yeah.
we'll never be able to solve it. And people need to know that it's an issue, it's growing
Yeah.
daily. Yeah, so making it important. You can educate from when children are still in school, so
Yeah.
that they know how to properly how to take care of animals,
Okay.
from spaying, from neutering,
Yes.
from places to adopt instead of breeding animals.
Okay.
Yeah, solving.
That sounds good. Please give him a round of applause. Then we'll go to that table over there. One of you share one of your best ideas, bestest. Someone had raised their hand. Okay. Yes.
My problem was on how to provide single parents who work 8 to 5 an opportunity to earn passive income outside their day-to-day jobs. And I was planning to provide them this opportunity to earn passive income through real estate. And the solution that I suggested that quite stood out was to provide access to real estate investors who can provide financing in exchange for 20% of the rent collected from the property.
I love it. Please clap for him. That's a really good one. All right, so you all get lollipops. You can pick from Lewis at a point. All right, so now I want us to develop a prototype. So obviously, we're not going to do any coding today or anything. Yes, you have a question, James? So Lewis, There's a gentleman there who has a question.
Okay, thank you so much. So we understand when you are ideating, let's say you come up with 20 ideas, and then you have told us to select at least one best one. What if you find that you can still select two and you move with them and they can work at the same time? Let's say, for example, you identify a problem of mama bogas not selling vegetables and fruits that are 100% organic, and you are coming up with a solution of at least farming 100% fruits and vegetables that are organic, but at the same time, you can still train farmers on how to produce these products. So can you select the two ideas and you move with them at the next
Yes.
level?
Yes, that's a really good question. Yes, you can, but it depends on how much resources you have. So if you're a big startup, you have a team of, I don't know, maybe 10 people, you can say, you five work on this idea, you five work on this idea. You can. The only catch with focusing on too many ideas is just like having, when you're trying to juggle many balls, you can drop one. So the reason we select one idea to work on is so that you can validate that one particular idea. Once you prove it doesn't work, you go back and get a new one. Yeah, but yes, you can work on multiple ideas if you have the resources to do that. That's a good question. All right, so now let us sketch different ways you can bring your idea to life, okay? So if it is a platform you're building, you can draw. You can draw or you can sketch, you know, something that looks like a screen. This is how you log in, or this is how you sign up, or you see an ad or you see a video on TikTok, then you go here, then you sign up, whatever it is. So I'm just gonna give you 1 minute to sketch your prototype or your blueprint. I want you to actually write. Okay, so I want you to sketch, and then I want you to write one action point that you yourself, you're going to take arising out of this conversation in the next 1 week, based on the idea you have. So for example, I will reach out to a stakeholder from NEMA to find out about water purification. That can be my action point. All right? Are we clear on what we're doing? You're sketching, and then you're writing an action point. I'll give you 2 minutes. All right, I want us to now go to the last step. Well, the last step is actually iteration, but we're going to just talk about testing. So because we don't have the opportunity to actually go out and talk to real customers, but I hope that you will, all right? When you go back to your spaces, please make sure you talk to real customers, engage them, find out if your solution merits, like it makes any sense to them, all right? We're going to do a test, all right? But how we're going to test is a little bit different. I want you to imagine that you're writing a letter to King Charles III. All right? Please get a fresh, clean page on your notebook. I'm going to give you just 1 minute. It's a short minute. Write a letter to King Charles. Describe to him what your problem statement is, who you're solving for, and what you're doing. All right? What your problem is, who you're solving for, and how you intend to solve that problem. So write to King Charles. It would be helpful if you address him as His Majesty King Charles III. I'm giving you 1 minute, and then whoever is brave enough to sample, we have some lollipops. Okay, you should be winding up, writing to His Majesty King Charles. Then now I want you to get a clean page and please write to a 6-year-old. So this can be your favorite niece or nephew or your friend's child or someone in your estate or neighborhood. Just choose a name. If you don't have anyone in mind, you can imagine one and say, whatever their name is, say, dear so-and-so, and then go again through the same process. Tell them the problem you have identified and how you plan on solving that problem. I'll give you an additional 2 minutes. And then whoever is feeling brave enough to read the letter to King Charles and the letter to the niece or nephew will come up to do so. 2 minutes starting now. All right. Let's grab some lollipops. Who wants to read the letter out? The letter to King Charles III. Who wants to read the letter? Lollipop going once? Oh, sorry, there's a gentleman over there. Anyone else who'd like to read the letter? Okay, there's someone over there as well.
Okay.
Take two.
So, His Majesty, my community with a 10,000 population and 2,000 households are suffering of electricity shortage. Your Honor, I have a plan to install 20 megawatts of solar power, and I need $2 million for this. Your Majesty, today I'm requesting a fund of this money to power my community and to digitalize it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Please give him a hand of applause. His Lollipop. We must ask His Majesty for money. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
So I'm going to start with please allow me to start with the project goal.
No. I want you to read the letter because in your letter, I need to hear the project goal and the problem you're trying to solve and how you're solving.
So in the letter, I've written all that.
Okay.
But
Maybe you can take a minute and we can come back to you. Because the letter the instructions were, please write a letter to King Charles III, explain to him what your problem is, what the problem you've identified is, who you're solving it for, and how you plan to solve it. So in that sense, I would have been able to hear the project goal. All right, thank you. Someone else was a letter to King Charles? Yes, go for it.
With all due respect, our great king, I would like to present
Wow.
my current observation on the issue of dirty water supply from the country trusted water organizations.
Yes.
To the final consumer.
Yes.
The water is quite not consumable. I would like to request for the help in managing the supply of clean water to the end user, who is the country. The normal mwananchi.
Yes, common mwananchi, okay.
Yeah. I would like to ask for funding in terms of resources.
Yes.
And also the help by the organization that cleans the water to identify ways to purify the water and also to ensure it's consumable by eliminating pathogens.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please give him a round of applause. Now I want to hear a letter to your 6-year-old. Okay, we have a volunteer here, Lewis, 6-year-old. One more. Okay, that last table over there. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, so
if you can stand, that would be great. So, dear so and so,
Dear Bideni, I'm tired to have to stay overtime to document procedures, especially after delivery. Why do they have to make it so hard and complicated? I wish we'd have an extension on the already available website to at least just fill in and document immediately after, or even just printed papers that I just have to fill in. I wouldn't want to extend my shift having to rewrite procedures each and every time, and yet I'm already tired.
I love it. I love your language. It's very simple. Please give her a hand. All right, Lewis. Yes.
Yes, I have a 6-year-old.
Excellent.
Dear Alpha Jacob, that's his name. I hope you are doing well. As you well know, your beautiful mom champions for the rights of girls and women with disabilities. In this regard, we are advocating for menstrual health dignity to the girls and women who face numerous challenges. So in your own capacity, as you visit the Honorable Member of Parliament of Nakuru Town East, help champion for these women in the community, not only for snacks for you and your brother, but also for these women and girls with disabilities. Hoping that you'll join me as you always do in our activities. Your loving mom.
All right, awesome. Please give her a hand. Hey. There's so many hands. Okay, there is that last group over there. Are you guys going to talk about one term? Muniambie tu sahi. Okay, yes. Are you reading for the 6-year-old?
Yes.
Okay.
Dear Monique,
yes,
we have a lot of big people working. We have a lot of big people stuck on the road while trying to get home after working and in the morning, which makes them tired,
yes,
angry, and frustrated.
Okay.
To make them feel better, I have thought of helping them to look at when they can best live home by tracking it in their mobile phones.
Oh, I love it. Please clap for her. Nice, nice, nice. You can see the difference between letters for King Charles, those ones you're asking for money, and the ones to the 6-year-old. But I always say if you can be able to articulate what your problem is and how you're solving it, when you're speaking to someone, like if you're seeking for funding or investment, and then you can still articulate that same problem and solution to a child, then you've nailed it. So that's a self-testing mechanism. Whatever it is you're working on, the innovation you're working on in your startup, always subject it to this. Just even for yourself, just say, this is how I'd pitch to King Charles or President Obama or President Trump. This is how I would pitch to a 5-year-old, that sort of thing. So we've actually come to the end. Well done. Clap for yourselves. You've been an excellent, excellent audience of participation. Participation-wise, these are the steps. You've seen this before. I highly recommend you follow them, even with your teams. Whenever you get co-founders, or even just when you're brainstorming with your friends, just go through empathize, define, ideate, select the topmost idea, create a prototype, and then you can test it, and test it with real customers. I want to leave you with a few tips. One is a book that I would recommend. Trying to build a startup, you need to do it in a very efficient way. Stand up and show it. There it is. Can you guys see the book? Yeah. Well done. Thank you. It's a really good one because it helps us think really quickly in terms of building, sharing what you've built. You test it, you learn really quickly, and then you iterate and you change how you need to change or improve. Yeah, who knows a business model canvas? Actually looks like this. Yeah? This is also a really good tool that I love and that I use myself for any time I'm trying to start a business and I'm trying to assess how viable it will be. I tend to use this a lot because I can see it works out like a business plan on a page. This is a very good tool as well. It's also based on design thinking methodology because you first start with the customer boxes, then you do the cost pieces, you find out if it's viable, and then you see if you can actually deliver on it. Lastly, I want to leave you guys with some 5 tips. We will share these slides. And this is just for you. We've talked about them throughout today, but it's just to bring them to the forefront of your mind. Anytime you're innovating, number one, always start with a real problem. If you start with a real problem, your success rate is going to be high. So not just a cool idea. And that's why I was challenging the gentleman right there with the robotics and the flying cars. Absolutely brilliant idea. But you need to figure out what the real problem is and how you're solving it. If it's traffic, that's a real problem, for example. So solve problems people actually face, validate demand before you start building and you put all your money there, on all your pocket money, allowances, etc., and the little money that you're getting from the jobs you're doing. Always use interviews, surveys, and design thinking methodology when you're building. Number 2, know your customer inside out. This is a continuous process, all right? So just because you've talked to your customer at the beginning, when you build, go back and talk to them. Remember when we had this piece, we have all these arrows. So you've ideated, go back and talk to your customer again. Understand them, talk to real people, understand their pain points, and build trust and relationships. Then when you go to pre-sell, it will be relatively easy for you. Number 3, build a lean business model. Start small, test really quickly, and iterate, learn, improve. Use lean canvas or business model canvas, minimize waste, pivot as needed, keep your costs low. I think a lot of times I find, maybe not necessarily with this group, but especially entrepreneurs who are starting off a little bit later in life and they have some savings stacked up, they put all their 10 million or 1 million behind a product. It's okay for you to do that, but it's actually better if you can minimize your costs, keep them so low until you're able to test what you've built. Then you know it's working. If it's training, like for you, Beth, you need to know if your curriculum is working. Then you start, the people tell you, actually, I want it to be more practical. Unaongeza, you add it. Actually, I want it to be this. Before you invest all your money, make sure you test really quickly, you learn, and you build small. Then you grow. There's a business coach, a friend of mine, who once told me something very simple, but I found it very profound. He asked, what do you call something that grows abnormally in your body? Huh? A tumor, cancerous tumor. Correct. So you don't want to grow super quickly. You want to grow organically. You want to grow pole pole, because as you're growing, then you're learning, you're testing, you're learning your markets, you're learning your customers. You are building features onto your app that actually make sense. Number 4, surround yourself with support. I know sometimes we're very scared of sharing our ideas. We think people are going to steal them. My personal view is no one can steal your idea, because it's about your execution. And you yourself, with your passion, your motivation, your energy, you're able to inject something unique into the idea and into the problem you're solving. So don't be too scared. Share with people, get information, get support. You'll be surprised when you share with your friend and they tell you, actually, I know someone at Asako who can help test your fintech. So do that. Find mentors, join accelerator programs, join your innovation center. The CEO talked about the clubs that are about to start. Join those. Ask for advice. Do not be afraid to collaborate. And then lastly, stay agile, be purpose-driven. So being agile just means being quick. You have, a lot of you I can see in this room, have the benefit of youth on your side. So you can be agile. You can change quickly. Your customer, like I like what Marianne said, you get feedback from coaches or from mentors, or when you're doing pitches, don't take it personally. Listen, take the advice you need. If there's someone who's given you advice that you don't feel is helpful, leave it. You can actually discard it and take what you think is helpful for building. So embrace continuous learning and then build a business that gives back. What that will do for you personally is it will keep you motivated even when the money is not coming. You're doing a social good. So I always encourage social enterprises, things that are doing a social good. And I don't mean non-profit. This should be profitable businesses. But always know that you're driving or you're trying to achieve a certain impact goal. All right? And what's very important is to always evolve. Always evolve. So I want to stop there. Thank you so much. I've gone a little bit over time, but you guys have been engaging. So thank you so very much. I want to hand over back to Sam Jehu. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne. I think it has been a good day. How do you rate yourself in terms of if you are to audit your day to day? Do you should audit your life day in, day out? You need to start that. You self-assess yourself versus the content you interact with daily. What is the value proposition of the content you interact to in relation to the growth trajectory of your life? I think it has been an amazing day. The word of us growing innovation-led enterprises is a tricky journey. It has up and downs. I don't know whether you have heard this story of a hare and a shopkeeper. I think one time, I'm giving this analogy to understand the context in which if you decide to become a founder, you need not to give up. So one day, the hare went to the shopkeeper and asked for the carrot from the shopkeeper. How do you expect was the response? No, I don't stock that. This is a shop. The hare went back. The following day, he came and asked the shopkeeper. Remember the image of the hare? The second day was familiar in the minds of the shopkeeper. He asked for the carrot. And remember yesterday he was told, I don't stock. What do you think was the response of the shopkeeper? I don't stock carrots. This is a shop. If you want carrots, go to the market. The hare went back. The third day he came. The hare came with the same story. He wanted carrot. The shopkeeper got irritated and told the hare, if you come again asking for carrot, I'll hit you with a hammer. The hare went behind the. We have covered, the hare has come to the shopkeeper how many days? 3. So you're in day 4. The hare came. The same story. But he was creative enough. He asked the shopkeeper, I want to purchase a hammer. Remember yesterday he was told he'll be hit with a hammer. What was the response? The shopkeeper said, I don't have. So the hare told the shopkeeper, and you told me that you'll hit me with a hare, with a hammer? So in that context, the hare realized that the shopkeeper did not have the hammer. So even what he was promising cannot happen. That is the environment you'll get to. As you fundraise, as you grow your innovation to an enterprise, you'll get partners, you'll get people like me, maybe who don't understand what a startup is. They maybe think that a startup is a saloon, a butchery. So you need to, you remember the conversation of Enos and Marianne. So that it should linger in your mind. You need to be very persistent. You'll be heartbroken so many times, but eventually you be victorious. Otherwise, as we come to a close, we shall have a group photo. We shall all come here. And we're also requesting, if you have not registered, please register. We may decide to give you a certificate, like something. And I don't want that noise later, because I'll be very hard on the people who will come later. Remember, this is the second time we are requesting you. We are doing like the hair. Otherwise, I think we can have Anita. Anita, you can come and guide us. Tomorrow our session starts at 9. I hope tomorrow we shall not be late. And we shall try to finish up early tomorrow. Who are pursuing row here? How many students are pursuing row? We don't have row students here. It's okay. It's okay. I think let me hand over to Anita.
Good evening. How are you? We can all come here on the stage. We try create a pattern that can fit in a camera. Take the photo, then you'll be free to go. Sawa. We can take the photo, then we'll be good to go. Kindly, haraka, haraka. Or there's also tea. So after the photo, you can have your tea, then you leave. Simngesema. Sawa, let's start. Kwanzia hapa mbele mbio mbio ndio Carl can help us. Tujipange vizuri. You don't want to be up kuonekana. Yeah. Yeah, kwanzia hapo. Not kwanzia, yeah.